How's it going, guys? Manga12 here, and we have Secret Wars 2099 issue 3. Now, the Suicide Squad official trailer literally just went online. Like, it's not leaked, it is actually the official trailer, and I was stupid enough to watch it without thinking of recording a reaction video. So yeah, I'm pretty upset about that. But it looks awesome. Jared Leto's Joker looks phenomenal now that the official trailer has been released, and I kind of feel like Joker is torturing Jason Todd in the movie trailer. Like, what do you guys think? Let me know in the comment section below about that. Just like a quick theory slash idea that I had whilst watching it. But yeah, so anyway, guys, going back to the comic, Secret Wars 2099 issue 3, and it's pretty much going to kick off where the previous issue left off with, I think it was Hulk 2099 that we saw at the end of the previous issue. So without further ado, guys, let's jump into it. Okay, so if you remember in the previous issue, someone tried to assassinate Captain America, and they pretty much headed out to go and get a man named Martin Hargood because he was thought to be responsible, or at least tied into this assassination process, and that is when they go after him and are introduced to the Defenders. Now, the Defenders are pretty much a team of superheroes like the Silver Surfer, we've got Doctor Strange, which is that woman with magic powers, and of course we've got Hulk 2099, and we actually know this version of Doctor Strange from the previous Spider-Man 2099 comics that I reviewed a few months ago, and it was really strange because Spider-Man 2099 came back from the Spider-Verse a few months ago, and he actually met this Doctor Strange, and she was actually teaming up with Maestro, and it seemed like she was an evil person, and that I think in that comic she was also part of the Defenders, which means that the Defenders must do something really bad. So basically what I'm saying is the Defenders are not all what they seem. Something is going to be like a massive twist around these guys, and I can't wait to see it. Now, as you can see on screen, we're quickly introduced to two more members of the Defenders. One of them is called Valkyrie, which is the girl, and of course her boyfriend named Submariner. Now, I know his name is kind of written as Submariner, but if I'm correct, his name is actually pronounced Submariner. So if I'm correct with that, guys, just let me know in the comment section below. But if I'm not, then I'll just put it in the description. This also has to be one of my favourite parts of this comic, mainly because Submariner pretty much says, "That is my girlfriend," and Hercules just brings it upon himself to punch him in the face. Why would he do that? He's a little bit of a hothead. Obviously, he thinks he's a god. He's like son of Zeus and all that crazy stuff. So he thinks that he's above everyone. He thinks that everyone should like him, like automatically, I suppose, and stuff. So that's really awesome. I really like Hercules. He kind of brings the humor to the comic, but he kind of does it like Thor in the Avengers movies. You know, like how he's just really dumb. Kind of like that, which I think is awesome. Now, speaking of the Avengers movies, we get an awesome reference right here where Hulk 2099 actually punches Hercules in the side of the head, much like how Hulk punches Thor in the Avengers movies, and I thought it was brilliant just to bring that into the comic. It kind of seemed like they saw the opportunity, so they took it, and I thought that was amazing. Moving onwards throughout the comic, you can see that they've taken Martin Hargood in for questioning at Alchemax, and of course the Defenders have gone with them. But if you remember in the previous issue, the Vision actually predicted that the Defenders would come in and said that they were a danger to the Avengers. So that's going to be interesting to see how that's going to play out, especially because we know the Defenders aren't exactly the people that we think they are. Like, surely there's got to be some mad twist there. Maybe they're working with this Martin Hargood, maybe they're not. But as you can see on screen, this Martin Hargood actually starts getting electrocuted like crazy, and he mentions this guy called Carl Amadeus Mordo, and that kind of reminds me of Dormammu or Mordo from the 90s Spider-Man cartoon. Now, in case you guys don't know who Dormammu is, he's pretty much that orange bald guy from the 90s Spider-Man cartoon, the guy from the alternate universe who literally possesses mystical powers of awesomeness. Mordo, I'm not too sure whether he's actually a guy from the 90s Spider-Man cartoon who's similar to Dormammu's servant. Maybe I'm just like going over the top here, I'm not too sure. But either way, I kind of recognize that name, so that's going to be interesting to maybe see something like that in the future comics. But as you can see, Hercules and Submariner are still going at it, still arguing at each other over Valkyrie, and they literally decide to have a drinking contest. Now, we can all assume where this is going to head out. They're pretty much going to be too drunk to fight. They're going to be completely out of it for the rest of the issue, and it's going to be pretty hilarious. And we're actually going to see this right here when Captain America and Doctor Strange walk in to the room and see Submariner and Hercules there completely wasted. And I just love the arrogance from Hercules, just the fact that because he is a god, he thinks that he's indestructible and his ego is just way above his head. And I think that's awesome to have a character like this in the 2099 series, especially because you wouldn't think a hero of the year 2099 would even remotely act like that. Now, going back over to what's happening on screen, you can see that Miguel, the head of Alchemax, is actually offering Doctor Strange a place on the Avengers team to work for Alchemax, and that is when it's revealed that any superhero that is here helping people, saving people with superpowers, has to work for Alchemax. There is no other option. You can't just save people by yourself. You actually have to register with Alchemax and do it that way, and if you're not, then you are literally an enemy. Vision said that the Defenders were a danger. I don't actually think they're an actual danger like supervillains. I think that they were a danger to Alchemax because they were going to be the guys to maybe do something about Alchemax, doing stuff like this and making superheroes work for Alchemax. So I think the Defenders are going to maybe try and put a stop to that. But something that I just want to point out really quick, it really puts the point across that have we been reading from the enemy's perspective? Like, do you actually think that the Avengers of the year 2099 are the enemies in this comic series? Let me know in the comment section below, because that is something that I really want to discuss with you guys. But as you can see on screen, Miguel just took out Hulk 2099 without even breaking a sweat. Now, in case you didn't know, Spider-Man 2099, who is Miguel, of course in this comic series he's not Spider-Man anymore, but he actually has fangs, and those fangs can actually inject paralyzing venom into anybody that he wants, and it will paralyze them, obviously, and that is exactly what happens to Hulk 2099. So for some kind of venom to be able to take down the Hulk, that's got to be some pretty strong venom, and this is actually the first time we've seen Miguel get his hands dirty in this comic. But I've actually got a theory for you guys. Do you actually believe that maybe Miguel will go up against an alternate version of himself? Like maybe the 616 Spider-Man 2099, and it is that 616 Spider-Man 2099 that takes down this Miguel, who's the evil one? Wouldn't that be awesome to see maybe in like the future Secret Wars 2099 comics? Let me know in the comment section below. Now, as you can see on screen, you've probably gathered that that was the end of the comic, but I'm going to give this issue a 9 out of 10. It really developed on the characters, and I love how it kind of twisted the tables on Avengers maybe being the enemy, and of course the artwork. Some of you guys might like it, some of you guys might not. I wasn't that much of a fan of it in like the very first issue, but towards the end of the comics you kind of appreciate the artwork more when you know the story, so that's awesome. So I'm going to give it a 9 out of 10. Guys, hit the like button on this video, go to the link in the description to please follow me on Twitter and Facebook for comic book news, and of course to hear when my videos are being uploaded, etc. Also hit the subscribe button, and I'll see you all in my next video.